Hey guys, excuse how crazy I look because I just got home from the gym, but these are my holiday beast mode videos, and I just wanted to, you guys know my first video, so I'm trying to lose 6 to 10 pounds, but I also just miss giving update videos just on my life and on just like recipes and things I'm doing. So I decided over the holiday to show you guys just some of, over this holiday season, some ways that you can still enjoy your food, whatever meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, and they still be like a healthier version or just a modified. It may not be the healthiest, but you know, sometimes it's about making a better decision than the one you've made. So this morning I'm going to make myself one of my egg white, well, it's going to be one egg and then a combination of egg and egg white omelets, veggie omelet, and I'm just going to show you guys. It's so freaking easy how I like to make mine. Alright, check me out. Okay, so here you see I have chopped up some bell pepper, onions, and spinach. You can really add whatever vegetables you want. If you want to chop up some mushrooms, I'm not really a fan of mushrooms. If they're really finely chopped, I'm cool with it, but we don't have any right now. But, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these bell peppers and onions and I'm going to saute them first together, and then I'm going to add the spinach in secondarily because spinach cooks a lot quicker. And also, even though it looks like a big pile of spinach, spinach cooks down a lot, and so this big pile is going to end up being like a little, not that much by the time I cook it. So, anywho, so it's real simple. You chop up whatever vegetables you want, a little bit bell pepper, a little bit onion, some spinach, and next steps is I'm going to throw that into the skillet. I'll show you that in just a second. So I tested the skillet with a little onion to see if it was hot. But basically I put a little bit of olive oil in the skillet. You can use olive oil, coconut oil, a little bit of, I can't believe it's not butter, kind of whatever, you know, stay away from just like full-on butter or whatever, because you want to still make it as healthy as possible. So I put a little bit of olive oil in there, and I'm just going to saute these onions and bell peppers down to, you know, desired softness. That's really up to you, depending on how soft you want it cooked. And then once it's cooked a little bit down, I'm going to throw the spinach in there and mix it in and allow it to cook. It's not going to take long, not even like a couple minutes. I don't know if you can tell, but you see how the onions are browning a little bit? Yeah, that means it's, you know, for me, time to throw the spinach in and let it cook together. Real simple. Take your chopped up spinach, just throw it in there on top, mix it in there a little bit, let it cook down. See? See? I told you the spinach will cook down. Look at that. That pile. Bam. So I'm going to turn this off because this is going to go inside of my omelet. I'm going to take this same skillet and throw my eggs in here and then put these vegetables right back into the middle of that omelet. It's so quick. I've been doing this, maybe like the overall process takes like 10 minutes, 15, 12 minutes tops. It's so easy. It's one of the quickest breakfasts you can make, especially if you chop up your dishes ahead of time, your vegetables ahead of time. Maybe at the beginning of the week or just the night before, you can just throw it into the skillet and already be ready. So what I have in here is 1 egg and a half a cup of egg whites. I use liquid egg whites. I get these from Target, but you can get them from anywhere. Or you can just separate out from the egg an egg white. But for me, it's more expensive that way. It's wasteful. But if you, so I buy eggs and I get egg whites. And the benefit of it is like, the yolk is kind of high in cholesterol, so I don't want to use too many eggs. So I mean, you could do all egg white if you want, but I like some of the consistency when I throw 1 egg in there over just using egg whites. But I've done both ways. So I have 1 egg whites, and these liquid egg whites you can get, or you can just separate out your yolk from your egg white if you just have regular eggs at the house. So I like to use the same skillet that the eggs are already in. I mean the sauteed vegetables, because it has some of the same residue grease in there, so that I'm not putting an excess amount in there. Just add a little bit if you need a little bit more for your skillet. You can do, like I said, olive oil or a little bit of like better than butter, or can't believe it's not butter. So season the eggs to taste, maybe a little bit pepper, a little salt, Mrs. Dash, or whatever you want, and go ahead and just line your skillet. Now don't make it too hot because you don't want the bottom of it to burn. I normally have that problem of balancing my temperature well to get the eggs the way I want it. But Yep. I'm about to film with my left hand, which I am, and cook with my right hand, which is difficult. So I kind of like to move the eggs around a little bit to make sure kind of it's being evenly cooked. Sometimes I'll take like this part and kind of move my eggs around a little bit so like all of it's being nicely evenly cooked well. It's almost where I want it. It's still a little more liquidy in the middle, a lot more liquidy in the middle than I want. So, but you see how the egg is cooking well. You kind of just move it around a little bit, and I'll take my spatula sometimes and kind of just, you see that? Make sure it doesn't burn. So that's easy when you come time to flip it. Look at that. It can easily flip, which is why you don't want to cook it too high. You got to be patient with it. It's okay if there's a little bit of liquid in there because once you flip it, it's still going to be cooking a little bit more. So I'm about to add the vegetables. So I added my vegetables. I typically like to put them on 1/2 so that's easy for me to flip it and create that envelope. Look at that flip. Look at that. Egg not too burnt. Some people like to put cheese on the inside of their omelet. I like to put a little bit on the outside and then I'll cover it with a top so that it can kind of just melt a little bit. Just sprinkle it with a little cheese. I suggest use just a little bit. And I suggest using a reduced fat cheese. And I'm going to put this top on here so that it can melt. I'm going to actually turn the skillet off and allow the heat that's already in there to cause it to melt. And let it sit for like a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we have us an omelet here. Look at that. I like to put throw a little salsa on top of that. Got some turkey sausage on the side. Sorry about that lighting. Bam. How easy was that? Maybe it took me like 15 minutes to make the whole thing, if that. I don't think it took that long. But here we are.